This an all-out blitz, real hard hits, them other podcast trash, we gon' make them all quit. We cover all the topics with intelligence and logic. I know you wanna score, but ID gon' stop it. We from Texas, so that mean that we Texans. Breaking down the X's and O's, our profession. No complaining, just training, you see the progression. They had a Pro Bowl for talk shows, we get selected. We gon' celebrate every win like a birthday. Ray J with the news, first with all the updates. Spin move on the competition, yeah, we juking them. You not really in touch if you not tuning in. This is Crenshaw, Briggs, and VT. We want the touchdown, we not trying to go for 3. And it's best if you get up out the street, cause them bulls out the pen and they bout to stampede.
Yo, and welcome to the Texans Band Battle Podcast, brought to you by the Texans Band Battle Sports Network. Guys, we did it. We pulled off the victory against the Arizona Cardinals. But before we break down the game, let me introduce you to my amazing trio. First off, I got my A1 since day one. Showing us off at the game, I got Mr. Crenshaw.
What up?
And always pissing people off on Twitter. We got a little brother, but big brother. We got Mr. VT.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on?
All right, guys. Like I said, we came up with a victory. It was close, 21-16. Crenshaw, you were there. You saw all the MVP chants. You saw the gasp when CJ Stroud got hit. So tell me, what was your thoughts on the game?
Man, the thoughts early. We start off in the hole. Kyler looked like Kyler Bowl, just went straight down the field, threw the touchdown. I don't know who fault that was, and I'm pretty sure one of you guys could tell me who fault that was, because you know me, I'm gonna blame this one particular guy, but I don't want to say him if it wasn't his fault. So I was kind of a little scared, and then we came out flat, but they let CJ cook, keep the ball in his hand, stop. I want to say stop running, but the run game's good. If you're gonna run it with Singletary. Don't run it with the Mike Boone guy. Run it with Singletary right there. But the crowd was weak at first, but the crowd got better. The crowd got loud. People was really into the game. And MVP chats. I'm trying to think, because I don't want to discredit this guy because he's not here anymore. So if someone's listening and they remember, let me know. But I don't remember hearing MVP chants when number 4 was here. So this here, hearing from the crowd, I was like, oh shit, we have arrived. Like how Deion Sanders said, do you believe now? Do you believe now? Because we waking these motherfuckers up. So man, other than that, man, great game. So I'm ready to hear y'all guys take on it, man.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll go.
Big T, go ahead.
All right. So basically, I think that it started out pretty harsh, honestly, because Kyler Murray does what Kyler Murray does. He evades pressure. And the biggest problem about that is no one can really stop him, right? And it doesn't matter what team really he's playing against. No one can really stop him. That's the biggest issue. D'Amico's talked about that in the press conference, and we saw it today. He had 50 yards on the ground. Last time when he played against the Falcons had it. He made the game-winning run in TD, and he could have done that again. So shout out to the defense. So obviously CJ Stroud had his worst game, actually second worst game of the season. The first game that when we played against the Ravens was his actual worst game of the season. And you know what? Rookies are going to make rookie mistakes. So 2 of the interceptions were totally on him. Can't blame anyone else. One interception was completely on Robert Woods. Now I understand that ball may be a little fast for you, but hits your hands. You have
You're in
to be
NFL. That's not an excuse. You're in NFL. When it hits you in the hands, you got to catch it.
You got to catch it. You got to catch it, right? Also, I will say that we wouldn't have gone on that 4th down earlier for it to even be an issue when we used Mike Boone. So we made 4 trips to the red zone that were unproductive, right? One of those trips ended up with Mike Boone with the toss. And the reason we had to do that is because of our kicker, right? So, there were basically 6 points on the board that we didn't have. One is because we had to go on fourth down, and the second one because he missed a field goal. So as close as the game was, if we actually had our kicker, it wouldn't have been that close. So that's a problem. I don't know if Caceres going to try to sign someone else, but I don't think so, because I was worried about Amendola from the very beginning. Glad he made that kick against the Bengals, or we would have been looking at double losses in a row here. The one thing is, I understand a lot of people are questioning what's going on with CJ. First of all, let's celebrate the happy shit. This is the first time the Texans have won 3 games in a row since 2018. This is not an easy feat. This is a team victory. When the offense can't move the ball, which is what happened in the second half. In the first half, we basically could do whatever we wanted, except score in the red zone. But in the second half, we were held to under 90 yards. And so defense stepped up and took care of those wins. In the past 2 games, offense had to step up and make last minute game-winning drives. This time, the defense had to step up, and they had to take care of the game. And you know what? Good teams find a way to win, whether that's offense, defense. Last 2 games, it was offense. This time, it was defense.
Yeah.
And what did Coach say at the end of your hype video on VT? He say what? We're a good team too. There it is, baby. We're a good team too.
Well, we'll also talk more about the press conference, but Coach also said, this team has been the offense has bailed this team out many times. It's about time that the defense bails the offense out. So yeah, 110%. Look, I don't think it's his worst game of the season. Maybe like 4th or 5th worst. I mean, I would say the Ravens was worse. The Falcons and the Carolina game was worse than this game. Yes, he had 3 interceptions, like you said. 2 were definitely his fault. He's a rookie. But people also forget he had 2 amazing touchdowns. The dude was driving. Like, he had a lot of yards. Like, I get that. But the only problem about his turnovers, they were in the red zone. If they weren't in the red zone, they wouldn't matter. This is just another interception. But he took points away from us. So that's what hurt. Am I mad about the interceptions? Not really. Like, again, at the end of the day, he's a rookie. And like he said, I'm glad I can learn while getting a W. I'm like, that's all it comes down to. Like, everybody's so involved in this MVP race. Like, take him out of the MVP race and focus on CJ Stroud, the player. Like, he's going to make mistakes because why? He's a rookie. Like, people got to get these expectations off of him, and not just him, but the team. Like, they think we're the Super Bowl play team. Like, we're not. Playoffs, possibly, but like we got to slow the roll. Like, everybody's ready to hit the panic button when something bad happens. Oh my God, CJ Stroud threw 3 interceptions. Is he going to regress? Like, bro,
that's gonna be the headline. That's gonna be the headline tomorrow.
I know.
I mean, I don't think so, honestly, because I think most reasonable, like, listen, that may be the clickbait headline, but that's not what the article will actually say. Because
that's what the fans are saying, BT. Like, there's already fans chipping at it. Like, oh, he threw. There goes CJ Stroud. He's going to go back to reality. He's not that good a quarterback. He was just lucky.
I'll tell you this. I mean, I was on a Twitter space earlier before I jumped on here, and there was probably 130 people in there, I think, and not one of them said that. I'm sure there are random people that are saying that because, it's 3 picks, but I think that I can't say most, many fans that are heavily engaged do not think that this is CJ regressing. I had a couple DMs today after the game. Hey, are you worried about CJ Stroud, about how he looked in the second half? And I responded to them and I said, no, absolutely not. There's no way that any rookie is not going to have an issue. I mean, something else to remember also, have only been 2 rookie quarterbacks that have won this amount of games in the first 10 games of their career, and that's Andrew Luck and CJ Stroud. He is in good company. And sometimes defense has to bail you out when you made a mistake. And this is the problem. One of the things that you also have to realize is that yes, defense bailed us out, but we have an issue stopping scrambling quarterbacks, and that's an issue that we have basically team wide. Will Anderson has been great in setting the edge, but one of the things that we are missing also is Denzel Perryman. Denzel Perryman helps stopping the run and stopping, helping stop those
and and,
scrambling
and, and
quarterbacks.
Henry T. Like we're missing Henry T. and Perriman. Like Henry T. is horrible in coverage, but when it comes to the running game, like if Henry T. if either one of those are playing, just one of those guys are playing, I don't think Connor has the game he has. Like I think he
Right.
still has a lot of yardage, but I don't think it's big yardage.
Speaking of
Yeah.
Henry T, what kind of concussion does he have?
Oh, you mean why? Because he's out for 2 games and
He's
not one.
no Henry T. He's been out for a while with a
He's been out for
concussion,
two
right?
games. This
Two
is the
games?
second
Yeah,
game.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Damn, it seems like it's been longer than that.
No, this is
Like,
only the second game.
but to like what the dude said, Corey said, yeah, Allen, Burrow have games like this, throw picks, and they still have those guys top five. So he throw those
Right.
picks. It's nothing. I mean, it's rare that we see it, but it's going to happen. It's going
Well,
to
I'm
happen.
just saying that now that he's playing so well, is the expectations. People just need to realize he's still a rookie. At the end of the day, he's still a rookie. So be glad that we have. Look, I'll take CJ Stroud throwing 3 interceptions a game than what they got in Carolina any day of the week. Like, so you got to be lucky. Got to be happy for what we got.
Oh yeah, and CJ himself, he said when Steph Curry missed, do he keep? No, he said when he missed, but he keep on shooting. So hey, it's okay. I'm gonna keep on throwing them
Right.
motherfuckers. It's all
And
good.
and I want to bring up this comment because I think he's right. That I think he threw all 3 interceptions after the big hit, but I know he definitely threw 2. That big hit, I think did rattle him a little bit because it went downhill and like what Crenshaw said too, or VT about Amendola missing the field goal. That all happened like on the same drive. So I think that took a lot of the Texans' momentum and it just kind of went
Well,
downhill a little bit.
let me address that for 1 second because after that big hit, Davis Mills came in. He threw a screen for 2 yards, one play. Then CJ came in and he was on third down and he converted immediately.
Right.
He converted on third down. He led a drive to a field goal and then Amendola missed it. Right, but after CJ got hurt, he led that drive that put up points on the board, and it was.
I think it's the same. I think it's the same guy that he missed the field goals when he got hit.
That's exactly what I'm saying. It's the
Okay.
exact same. This when
I
he
think,
got
I think
hurt.
they-
Yeah,
I think
so
he's
he
saying
got hurt.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is that he got hurt, and on that same drive, he actually led the team down to put up points on the board. That's what I'm saying.
Right,
And so, like, if we had a better kicker, we would have had those other 3 points. And like I
Right.
said before, if we had a better kicker, we wouldn't have had to go on fourth and second
Well,
and use that toss.
that's what I'm saying is kind of it kind of took when he missed that field goal. It kind of took the wind out of the sails. They're like,
Mm,
and he kind of that's when they got the momentum and came back and scored. But
right.
my only thing about CJ I think he did kind of get shook was because when pressure comes, that's when he threw those 2 bad picks. He threw the one in the end zone and definitely that one that the corner made a great jump and picked the ball off, but the pressure was coming, so yeah, hurry up and got rid of it. So am I concerned? No, because one thing that we learned about CJ, we've been saying all year, he sees something, he makes a mistake, and he learns from it.
Right.
So calm down. Next week he'll get his nerves out, and it'll be all right. It'll be the CJ again. But I do want to address what Crenshaw said earlier. Who do you think caused that touchdown, Crenshaw?
Which play we talking about? Which touchdown?
The one you were talking about. You said that the opening drive on Kyler Murray.
Okay. Well, from where I was sitting at, it looked like the same Stingley Petrie combination that we had against the Bengals. It looked like the exact same formation, exact same play. So I'm saying it's one of those two. But am I wrong, VT? Because I'm pretty sure you looked at it really, really closely.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about it is that, yeah, I think they're going to attribute that stat wise to Stingley. But what I would say is that you got to see the difference between zone and man, because what I think D'Amico realized is that when he manned up Stingley after that, and Stingley deflected that pass, right? And then he had an interception. So he had a pass deflection and an interception. And so he realized stop putting Stingley in zone, manned up a little bit more. And I think that's a good lesson for D'Amico. So I think that the issue there is playing zone isn't working properly, right? Like for whatever reason, Stingley is not being Stingley with communication players. I'm not putting the blame on Petrie. I'm not putting the blame on Stingley. I'm not even putting it on D'Amico. All I'm saying is when we're in zone, we're giving up TDs. We're giving up a ton of yards. Manning up, we stopped it. So I think that we will be seeing a little more man than we have in the past.
I think that goes like BT says, it goes on Petrie, because Petrie should have had it over the top and he missed it. So that does go on Petrie. But Stingley should have let the coverage go a little bit longer and then release them to Petrie. But it's still Petrie's fault for not covering the top. So I gotta say it's on Petrie. But
yeah, that's the thing. It's like when you hand off, right? In zone, you got to hand off. When you hand off is important, and I don't think that's been fixed yet, right? They've had issues in the last game, and they're having an issue now. So the thing is, you could blame Petrie. Where are the stats? Like PFF put that last TD, that even though it was in cover 2, on Stingley, and I believe that's what they're going to do again, because they usually go by the closest DB. So regardless, I think the issue there is that that's not working. When you're using zone and you're trying to hand off to from Stingley to Petrie, it's not working. You got to change it.
But just going on the defense period, like the defense is getting better every day. Like zone man, yeah. I like the zone to go away. So yeah, a little bit, but they're making plays in one play, like the end of the game. I mean, that was a big 4-quarter. People can say all they want that the Texans got bailed out by that no offsides call on that third down. But, dude, it happens. But they still stop them when it mattered on fourth down. Like, so the team has stepped up. Blake Craftsman, Kristen Harris, like all those, Will Anderson, all the Will Anderson haters are pretty quiet today. So moving forward, I'm impressed by this defense.
I will say shout out to Blake Cashman. I know it's not game ball time, but I mean 19 tackles, man. 19 freaking tackles, a sack, and a pass deflection. I mean, I don't know. That's like the holy trinity there. Leading the team in tackles, getting a sack, and a pass deflection. My God. I mean, I know that people don't like when I criticize Caserio, but I got to praise him on that one again and again. Best linebacker on our squad, and Cashman, man, cash money all day long, because he definitely deserves it.
I know one thing, they're gonna be drill testing him probably this week.
Oh, like yeah, I mean that's guaranteed, right?
Yeah, because I'm like, hold on, what? This Blake is off the chain. Like this Blake is damn near on Pro Bowl. Well, he should be a Pro Bowler. Maybe all pro level. I mean, damn, I'm impressed myself. Like, okay, I see you, Blake, trying to get paid.
I don't know about all pro, because there's some pretty good linebackers.
Linebackers, yeah.
You got Smith and Warner, so it'd be hard for him to get a linebacker. But a Pro Bowl, it should be. But we know Pro Bowls in Texans data don't add up, because
I think this year's going to be different. I mean, we've got the hype this year, right?
Winning does change everything.
Right.
It absolutely changes everything.
I just want to say, can you imagine that we got a Pro Bowler for a 6th-round pick? Like, right. That's crazy. And the Jets fans were literally knocking us, saying, we fleeced you. I mean, what? So shout out to Blake Cashman. But I got to say also defense. The team got 3 sacks, 7 pass deflections, and a stop for 6 yards. Those 7 pass deflections, amazing. That's the secondary that I wanted to see. Obviously, we have some issues with missed tackles. That's across the board. Those have to be worked on. But you can see when they do man up, they can win. They're winning. And so I think that D'Amico's going to switch it out more. I'm not going to say that they do all man or anything like that, but I think that in situations you're going to see that a lot more. The defense definitely won us this game because in the second half, the Cardinals defense really stopped us. Right? They adjusted, and we weren't able to move the ball effectively in the second half. Now, overall, whether it's the first and second half, we moved. I mean, this is CJ's another 300, what's his third 300-yard game. So that's amazing. We had some really good things on offense. Like, let's not all say like, oh my God, you threw 3 picks, the world is ending. Tank Dell has 6 touchdowns on the year so far. 6 touchdowns? That's freaking crazy. I mean, I can see this dude getting double-digit touchdowns in his rookie year. That's amazing. He had 150 yards. If we kept the same pace, if obviously the defense caught up to us, but I mean, he was literally on pace to potentially beat Jamar Chase's rookie. What was it, 226 yards? So I mean, like Tank Dell, third-round pick, working out like a blast. I know some other people wanted either JSN or other receivers, but man, he's been kick ass.
Yeah, and it's an A-Town guy, so I mean, I'm glad. I'm glad he's doing great, and I'm glad for the pickup. Go ahead.
VT, let's update that. CJ has Fifth Ward 300-yard games.
That's what I'm sorry.
He has 5 300-yard games.
Oh, he's 5. Oh, okay. I thought I didn't even know it was 5. I thought it was 4.
Yeah, he has 5. That's pretty amazing right there.
Yeah, and again, as a rookie, like I mean, him and like you said, him and Andrew Luck are the only 2 quarterbacks that have winning records through the 10 games. Like that's
Right.
something to be proud of, And like you said, VT, Tank Dell has been a solid draft pick. Like everybody was hating on it. We traded too much for him. We shouldn't have jumped up. We should have got Josh Downs. Blah 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 blah. Like sometimes at the end of the day, you just gotta trust the system. And
Mm.
obviously, the record proves for itself. So, Kershaw, you were there at the game. What impressed you the most on defense?
What impressed me the most? I mean, second half, we only gave up 6 points. I feel like the Arizona was moving the ball, but they just couldn't score. I was impressed. Like of course we said Blake. I was impressed. By Stingley, Nelson. Everybody really pretty much did their job, but I'm gonna say impressed me the most was Christian Harris, because I know I've been
Mm.
giving Christian Harris shit all year, and he has shut me up the last couple weeks. Just continue to grow from there, Christian. Stay healthy, stay on the field. But I'm gonna say Christian Harris, man. He has been having a really solid sophomore campaign.
And BT on offense, who caught your eye?
On offense, it would have to be Tank Dell. On defense, if we want to do game balls, I would say I would give the game
Well,
ball
we
to
haven't got the game ball yet. I was just getting your take on just the offense and Kershaw on
just
defense.
off on offense. It's definitely Tank Dell. But I guess we're not doing game ball yet. But I have to say this now that I started saying it,
Well, here,
which
hold
is
on. Let's do this thing.
okay.
BT trying to nut early, so you ruin the fun. All right, BT, who you
I'm
got
sorry.
for your game ball, brother?
Yeah, it's Steven Nelson. Steven Nelson, the second game-winning stop of the season. So Steven Nelson has to get the game-winning ball here, game ball here. We could have easily lost this game had it not came down to that stop. Christian Harris had some amazing plays. Will Anderson had some amazing plays, but the play that ended it all was Steven Nelson.
You got Kershaw over there crying.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah, Kershaw, what about you, brother? Who's your game ball to?
Man, let me catch myself. Man, I love the Stephen Nelson praise. I guess I got to pick it back off of VT, say Stephen Nelson, but we got to give Will Anderson credit as well for the pressure. So, all right, you know what? I don't want to do the same person VT said. I'm gonna give a game ball to Devin Singletary, because
Okay.
I feel like if the run game wasn't going, I think we'd have lost this game the way we was getting, the picks and everything. So I'm gonna say Devin Singletary because he kept their defense still had to respect the run and the pass. So I'm gonna go Devin Singletary, back to back 100-yard games. He is my running back one, and he should stay my running back one for the rest of the year.
Well, I can't go what you guys said, and obviously it'd be an easy choice to say either C.J. Stroud or Blake Cashman. So I'm gonna deep down in there and pull out my bag of tricks. I'm gonna go with DeAndre Houston Carson.
Okay.
Five tackles, 4 solos. I think he had like what two pass deflections or one or something like that.
One pass deflection.
Like the dude's making plays. Nobody is mentioning him because he's not making mistakes. He's actually playing pretty good. So that is, and he's made some tackles to stop big gains, especially with Connor running the ball like he did. So yeah, it has to go with Houston Carson, and especially because his last name has a great city in it. So it got to represent.
I mean, I'll say this. There are actually, and this is a good thing, there are actually multiple defensive players right now that you could give a game ball to. You can say Blake Cashman, like 19 tackles, 1 sack, 1 PD. Christian Harris, 2 pass deflections. Derek Stingley, 1 interception, 2 pass deflections. Will Anderson with the sack. Jonathan Gennard with the sack. I mean, we had defensive players step up like a mofo today. I just think that Hughes with the sack. So, I think that they did a really good job today, the defense overall. And so the defense won this game. I understand you were saying that you could potentially give the CJ Stroud. I would actually say I would not give the ball to CJ Stroud this time. Probably the first time that I would have to say nope. I'm not mad at CJ, but he made, 2 really, really bad mistakes. So I can't give him the game ball because he put us in a position where the defense had to bail us out. But that just goes to show when the offense is suffering, the defense can bail us out. When the defense is suffering, the offense can bail them out.
Yeah, it's a complete team. It's the first time that I think we ever had it, probably since 2011. It's probably the first time we had a real complete team. So
yes.
Well, guys, before we move on, before we end the show, let's move on one quick thing.
Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs?
All right. So playoffs. Kershaw, I'll start with you. Are we seeing the promised land, or are we going to be a little short?
Well, I'm seeing, before the season, I'm not going to deflect my record. Before the season, I said 7-10, and we're 1 game away from that. Right now, I see 10 wins for sure. It looks like 10 wins will get us in. If these other teams, keep losing, because right now we're the 6th seed. We jumped up 1. I think we will get in the playoffs. If not the division winner, we're going to get in as a wild card. So that's why the game next week is so huge pause for us, because that's the game to get us first in the division. So I'm gonna say yes, we make the playoffs.
We jumped up to the 5th spot, did we not? Because we beat Pittsburgh. Don't we have the tiebreaker?
Well, I thought Pittsburgh jumped down to 7 and we just 6, and then the Browns went to 5. The motherfuckers keep winning.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, they went to 5. So yes, I'm gonna say we are in the playoffs, and that's gonna be like one of the best NFL seasons that you will ever see, from like worst to worst. I ain't gonna say worst to first, but worst to the playoffs with all the hoopla and first time coach, first time this team is stupid.
Rookie QB, right?
Yeah, the owner is dumb. All the old fans and some of the new fans sell the team and all that shit. Ha ha on you. Ha ha.
Yeah. BT, I'm ready to hear your rant. What's up, bro?
Okay, so there's a couple different things I want to say. So for those that are worried about CJ Stroud, let's just talk about the Lions game. So the Lions are considered Super Bowl contenders at this point, right? Jared Goff is being considered as a top 10 quarterback. Some have put him as top 5. They are a Super Bowl contending team. They have a hell of a roster, a better roster than us. They have a top 5 offensive line as well. So they were going against who today? The Bears. The Bears, one of the worst teams in football right now. And they almost lost. For 55 minutes, the Bears took them to task. They almost lost that game. Why did the Lions win that game? Well, because the Lions defense was able at the proper time to hit the Bears for a 3-and-out, get the ball to Jared Goff, who led the game-winning drive and won that game. And so the thing is that not all the wins have to be pretty. And by the way, Jared Goff got picked off multiple times. So you don't need pretty wins all the time, right? And whether or not CJ gets MVP or not, obviously I want him to. I think he does deserve it. But when we're talking about wins and getting in the playoffs, these hard wins are actually how you do it, because there is no way that you're just going to get easy wins. Like the Steelers, that's crazy. It shouldn't have been that easy. The Jaguars game, that was honestly kind of easy. Most games are going to be hard fought, going to be about a score difference. There's very few that are going to be blowouts. Again, Dolphins, a very good team. The Raiders, not a very good team. The Dolphins barely beat the Raiders, 2013. The high-powered offense got only 20 points. So I just want to reiterate that this is the NFL. The difference between good teams and bad teams are very, very small. This does not mean that, oh shit, we have to hit the panic button. This is the first time that we had 3 wins since 2018. We're in good shape. I know I'm going on my soliloquy, but I'm going to be done real soon. 1, Jaguars beat the Titans. We knew that was going to happen. The Titans are just a crap team. I said they wouldn't win. I think I said they would 5 games. That we, me and Leo have that bet. Pretty much what I think is going to happen. It looks like Will Levis had a fluke, and that's about it. What does that say about Trevor Lawrence? Trevor Lawrence had 2 passing touchdowns and 2 rushing TDs today. He had like 270 yards. That Titans defense has fucking demolished. It's gone. Whatever defense they had, they're gone. Blake Cashman had 19 tackles. Their lead tackler had 6 tackles. Their defense is garbage. So Trevor Lawrence was able to eat because the Titans defense didn't exist. Our defense is much better than the Titans defense at this point. Derrick Henry only had 38 yards. Their lead rusher only had 38 yards. So the Titans didn't run the ball. The defense didn't show up. That's why the Jaguars were able to win. The Titans are just a shit team. And so I think that we will be able to beat the Jaguars. I think that we still have the possibility of winning this division. And I think that I understand that you think that we'll have 10 wins and win. I actually think even though as bad as the Jaguars are, then they have 3 hard games, they still have some easier games as well. So I think that the Jaguars actually get 10 wins, but I think that we get 11. And that's going to be the difference, because I think that we already beat them once. We'll sweep the Jags and we'll have 11 wins. The Jags will have 10 wins and we'll win the division.
I still think the Jaguars somehow take away the division just because Doug Peterson is he's good, still a good head coach. Look, he did the same thing D'Amico did with the Jaguars last year. Took them to the playoffs, took them to the division. So I'm still going right now. As of right now, I'm leaning towards the Jaguars division. Playoffs, I know I've been saying we don't talk about it, no, but I think it's about time we start talking about it, no. I think we make the playoffs. I think the Browns game is going to be the pivotal game to decide where we stand in the playoffs. So yes, I think we make playoffs. But if you wanted to see more about us talking about the game next week with the Jaguars, make sure you tune in on Wednesday, 8 p.m. Central.
I got 2 things.
Right.
One, y'all remember the Bengals? He said they'll love you 1 week and hate you the next week.
Yep.
And based on what we said earlier in the podcast about the 3 interceptions, if people start saying some shit, CJ was right. My last one before we end the show. Who was that sack on that almost fucked up our franchise?
It was a free rusher. It was a blitz.
Okay, but what they should have done better during that moment.
It was. Yeah. I mean, it was. I want to say it was on Mason. It was either Mason or Dieter. I forget which two. But if he could have stopped it by holding him, take the penalty. On that big of a hit, you got to take the penalty. I know he doesn't know that's coming, but still, that's your franchise quarterback. Like, you got to hold. Like, you can't let that come out like that. So, Yeah.
So now, how many times this year have we seen him get hit on free blitzers, and we still haven't
Uh,
figured that shit out?
no, quite a bit. Well, the thing is, all right. So it's not like right, because you have to understand who's going to call that out. Right now, he's supposed to call that out. He's supposed to see that there's a blitz and call protection. He's got to say, "Hey,
Well, it
uh,
was a delay blitz too, wasn't
it was a delayed blitz, right?" So he's still learning coverages, but it's on him, right? Quarterback is supposed to call that protection. So when you say we're supposed to figure it out, it's not the defense. I mean, it's not the offense that is supposed to figure. It's literally CJ Stroud has to be able to say, "I see a blitz. I'm calling max protect or whatever the fuck he wants to call," and then he's supposed to do that. So he's still learning that, and quite frankly, like I said before, the fact that he's been this amazing this quickly, I'm not going to get mad at him for the things like him not being able to call out the protection right now. He's in high pressure situations. We're trying to get to the playoffs. He just got, I mean, we, in my opinion, he also knew. I'm not saying that this was in his head, but he also knew something that we haven't done for a very, very long time, which is get into the playoffs and win 3 games in a row. I don't know if that fucked with his head, but again, it's really hard for me to just blame him, for throwing up 2 picks when, he's really only done that once, right? 2 picks. So yeah, it was his fault that he got sacked like that, but he's been great, and I think he's going to whoop some Jaguars' ass at NRG next week.
I really don't even think it's really his fault either, because it was a play action pass, so his head was looking at the running back. It wasn't looking downfield. So when he turned around, that's when he got hit, and it was just a perfect call on the defense. It was a delay blitz. I want to say it was Mason. Mason couldn't get there fast enough. He had his hands on him, but he didn't want to get the holding call, so he let the holding call go, and it happened. I mean, it was just a good call by the defense. But if I was Mason, I'm taking him to the ground, getting the holding call, so that way, CJ lives another day and doesn't get rattled. I mean, we can say he did, or we can say he didn't. But if he doesn't get hit, who knows? I mean, we don't have to worry about it, right?
So basically, what I got from what you said, VT, is that CJ like it raw.
I think he's a virgin, and he will remain a virgin when he gets married. But this is the last thing I'll say. For those that are wondering, there is a great tool on the New York Times called the Playoff Tracker. I've been using it, trying to see all the different situations. Essentially, right now, if we beat the Jaguars, if we lose to the Jets, the Browns, and we split with the Titans, we have a 96% chance of getting in the playoffs. So,
bro, did you really say split with the Titans?
I'm not saying that we will. I think we'll sweep them.
It's like air vomit. It's like air vomit just hearing somebody say it. But I
hear you. But the reason why I'm saying that is because the Jets defense is solid. The Browns defense is insane. And so let's just assume that you lose. I'm not saying we will. Just assume that you lose to the Jets and the Browns. We can still lose to the Titans. And as long as we win against the Jaguars, we're in the playoffs. Now, if we win the Jaguars game and obviously sweep the Titans, we're going to go. We win the division as well. So the playoff chances here are still damn high. This win was definitely critical. We still have a lot more football to play. But I got to say, man, I think we make the playoffs this year, and I think that my prediction of 7-10 was way undermined CJ, undermined D'Amico, undermined Bobby Slowick.
We got to win what 11 games, and we have the same amount of wins as we did in the last 3 years, right?
yeah, 3, 3, and 4 because we won 3, 3, 4, right?
Okay, so all we need to win is 4 more games. I mean, bro, who thought we'd be having this conversation right now?
This early because it should have been a year away, know. But having it right now, that's a good problem to have.
Yeah,
and I'm glad we having that problem.
That's what I'm trying to say about these fans. Like, calm down. Respect what you're seeing right now. Like,
relax.
Woo saw motherfuckers.
Aaron Rodgers, relax.
Right. Go take some fucking mushrooms. For real. But guys, like I said before, Crenshaw rudely interrupted me. No, I'm just kidding. Make sure you tune in Wednesday at 8 p.m. Central. We got YouTube sensation Jake Assman coming on to talk the game with us. So make sure you check that out. We'll talk more about playoffs and everything else. But till then, make sure you check us on social media. BT, where can they find you?
You can find me at Brown Chubby Bear. I'm on Twitter, either hosting, co-hosting, or just speaking on a Twitter space. Check me out on Twitter.
And Crenshaw, what about you, brother?
You can find me on TV, and you can find me at Fifth Ward Crenshaw everywhere.
The Texans saw him one time on TV, and this guy thinks he's Hollywood Brown now. Come on now. No, I'm kidding. Well, I just want to say, ever since I saw that picture on my TV, my TV quit working, so I don't know what's going on with Crenshaw. But yeah, you find me at A1 Day One Texans. I got a couple articles coming up on the Fan Battle Sports Network, so make sure you check that out on the website. And you follow the podcast everywhere, Texans Fan Battle. Just type it in. Guys, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube. It goes a long way, more than you know. So support us by doing that. So that way we do a lot more stuff. We got some more stuff planned, especially for the home games. So keep your eye out. And like I said, subscribe to support us. Until then, guys, we'll see y'all Wednesday.
One last thing.
No, BT. God, go ahead.
Go check out our YouTube channel. There is an awesome hype video for CJ Stroud. Check it out. It's already got like over 4,000 views, which is pretty cool. You guys, if you're not subscribed to YouTube channel, just go and check that video, and you'll want to subscribe.
Yep. All right. Anything else, BT?
That's it. I'm done.
No, I got one more thing.
How you motherfucker know that?
VT hype video is better than the Texans hype video. Okay, we done. Let's go.
This is Crenshaw, Briggs, and VT. We want to touch.